Hello everyone, welcome to today's video and this is your friend Aceink. Whenever we talk about debt or debt burden, almost everybody thinks about Adani Group and Gautam Adani. And why not? Because within a short span of time, Gautam Adani has not only surpassed Mukesh Ambani to become India's most wealthiest person, but at times he has also surpassed Amazon's Jeff Bezos to become world's third richest person. And many believe this meteoric rise of Gautam Adani has only been possible because of the piling debt which is fueling the inorganic growth of Adani Group. And presently, Adani Group has over 2,60,000 crores of debt burden. So maybe after seeing all these facts, you might believe that maybe it is right that people are targeting Adani Group and Gautam Adani for its debt burden. But what if I tell you that even after having 2,60,000 crores of debt burden, Adani Group still does not have the highest debt in India? Because there are other business groups in India which have more debt than Adani Group. And you'll be surprised to know that Tata Group has the highest debt burden in India and the second highest debt burden is on Reliance Group. And only after these two comes Adani Group, which has about 2,60,000 crores of debt burden. And now many of you might ask that, Bharat, if Tata Group and Reliance Industries has more debt than Adani Group, then why people are only targeting Adani Group and Gautam Adani? Why not Tata Group, Ratan Tata, Mukesh Ambani or Reliance Group? And in today's video, we'll exactly discuss this point and try to understand why people are targeting only Gautam Adani and Adani Group. But before we go forward, I'd like to tell you that me and my team, we really work very hard to make such kind of a quality content for you guys. And if you want to appreciate our hard work and efforts, then you can press the like button and like the video. And you can also press the red button to subscribe to the channel. And most importantly, you can press the bell notification so that you get an immediate update as soon as we upload a new video. So now let's try to discuss and try to find out why people don't target Tata Group or Reliance Industries and why most people only point fingers at Gautam Adani and target only Adani Group. So to begin with, we can take example of Adani stocks, where a lot of people have issues with the valuation of Adani stocks. For example, Adani Green and Tata Power, both the companies are in the same sector working on making green energy more affordable. But the stock of Adani Green is trading at a very high valuation, where the price to earnings ratio of Adani Green is about 638, while the stock of Tata Power is trading at around 28 price to earnings ratio. Which means for every rupee Adani Green is earning, investors are ready to pay 638 times more money to buy Adani Green stock, and on the other hand, for every rupee Tata Power is earning, investors are ready to pay only 28 times more money to buy Tata Power stock. And if you don't know, then let me tell you, Tata Power's profit is 4 times more than Adani Green's profit, and also the debt to equity ratio of Tata Power is around 2, but Adani Green's debt to equity ratio is about 7.7. And this debt to equity ratio simply tells us that whatever money is being invested into the company, how much of that money is coming from debt and how much of that money is coming from company's equity. And in case of Tata Power, where the debt to equity ratio is about 2, tell us that if the company is investing 100 rupees from debt, then the company is also investing 50 rupees from company's equity. And in case of Adani Green, where the debt to equity ratio is about 7.7, which tell us that if Adani Green is investing 100 rupees from debt, then only 13 rupees is being invested from company's equity. And that's why many people point out saying that in Adani Group companies, a lot of money is being invested only from debt and the investment from company's equity or from the promoters is very less, which is not the case in Tata Group or Reliance Industries, where those companies have also taken debt, but the promoters are also investing a lot of money in the company, or a lot of money is being invested from the company's equity as well. In terms of stock valuation, this is not only the case with Adani Green, but also with companies like Adani Gas, where Adani Gas is trading at about 863 price to earnings ratio, but its peer company Indraprastha Gas is trading at about 19 price to earnings ratio. And in fact, this insanely high valuation has little to do with the financial performance of the company, and rather it has more to do with the investors' expectation, where investors are expecting an insane amount of growth in the coming years. And for that reason, many believe that the valuation of Adani companies are justified. And if you see, currently the Adani Group is valued at about $240 billion, and on top of that, it is also said that Gautam Adani has plan in place to take Adani Group's valuation to $1 trillion in the coming years. And most of the people are concerned about the unbelievable pace and the speed at which Adani Group is growing. Because to many, the growth figures of Adani looks almost unbelievably magical, because Adani Group has gone from a valuation of $16 billion in the year 2015 to a hopping valuation of $240 billion in the year 2022, where other business houses like Tata and Reliance took generations to build such kind of a wealth, but Adani was able to do that in just 7 years of time period, which makes a lot of people suspicious and doubtful about Adani Group's growth. And most importantly, the growth of Adani Group is fueled by debt, which enabled Adani to take debt-based bets, and these huge debt-based bets have made Adani one of the richest man on earth. And here some might say that, Bharat, maybe people are jealous of Gautam Adani, because what he has done in 7 years, groups like Tata and Reliance were not able to do in decades. And maybe because of that, people are trash talking about Adani Group. And yes, you could be right. There might be few people who hate Gautam Adani or Adani Group out of pure jealousy. But there are people who are really concerned, thinking, what if the huge debt-based bets Adani has taken backfires? Because even if there is a slightest chance of slowdown in the infrastructure sector, then the debt given to Adani Group could be at risk. Because 6 out of 7 listed companies of Adani operate in the infrastructure sector. And this is why many people only target Adani Group for taking debt, because many believe that the loan given to Adani Group is putting the national economy and the public banks at risk. Because presently, if you see, many people believe that Adani is able to secure very big loans only because of the government support. And Gaurav Vallabh is one of those people who believe that, where he think that current government is pressurizing the banks to grant loans to Adani. And of course, Gaurav Vallabh is the spokesperson of the opposition party, and in politics it often happens. The ruling party and the opposition party always try to defame each other, and the statements made by Gaurav Vallabh could be one of those such attempts. But still, Gaurav Vallabh mentioned some of the very interesting facts, where he pointed out that nearly 40% of the major loans obtained by the Adani Group between April 2020 to June 2022 had come from State Bank of India, or which is also called as SBI. And in this situation, seeing such data, some people like Gaurav Vallabh believe banks are being pressurized by the government to grant loans to Adani. But there are other people who believe that banks are giving loans to Adani Group only because it is good for the business of the bank. Because they believe that banks see Adani Group as a strong, fast-growing business, and giving loans to such business is always profitable for the banks. But if you look at it from a third person's perspective, then here it is very difficult to judge whether the banks are being pressurized to give loans or the banks are giving loans because it is good for the business. But I am interested to know what is your opinion on this, whether you feel banks are being pressurized or banks are genuinely giving loans to Adani Group. You write that down in the comment section. And also, another reason why people only target Adani Group is that presently they are getting a lot of business from government. And here as well, many people believe that Adani Group is able to get these projects only because of their strong relationship with the current government. And they see this as a risk factor, because in future, if there is a change in power or change in government, then Adani Group might lose that leverage using which they are able to get projects right now, which is actually fueling the growth of Adani Group. And because of this future risk, if the growth of the company is compromised, then the loans given to Adani Group can also be at risk. And here as well, some people deny this allegation, saying that Adani Group is getting government projects because of their project execution capabilities, and it has nothing to do with their relationship with the present government. But having said that, for many it is still very hard to digest how Adani Group is getting a lot of business from government magically. For example, in the year 2019, the government decided that managing airports was an unmanageable task for them, and the government put out a tender asking for private companies to operate, develop and manage airports in India. And so the government has decided to lease out 8 airport projects. And out of these 8 airport projects, guess how many airports Adani Group bagged? Let me tell you, Adani Group bagged 7 out of 8 airport projects. And also many believe that the ministry leased 3 airports at almost 1/3 of the actual value. Because according to a report, the ministry leased the airports for about 500 crore rupees to Adani Group, while many believe the actual value was estimated to be around 1300 crore rupees. And because of such events, for many it appeared like if government wants to privatize something, then Adani is the bidder and Adani is the winner. And because of this risk that in future, if there is change in power or change in government, then the loan given to Adani Group can be at risk. And for that reason as well, many people target only Adani Group in the matter of debt. But if you look at it from a different perspective, Adani Group is mainly involved in infra business. And in infra sector or infra business, most of the contracts and projects are given by the government, which means the government itself is the client or customer of infra companies. And having a good relationship with the customer or the client is always a business need, and it is a need not only for Adani Group but also for all the other companies which are operating in the infra sector or infra business. But I also want to know your thoughts on this, so make sure you write your thoughts in the comment section. So far we have discussed all the negative points because of which Adani Group is being targeted for their debt burden, and I also presented the counter argument challenging those negative points. But along with all these negative points, there are also positive changes that are taking place in the Adani Group and Adani Group of companies. For example, if you talk about debt to equity ratio, which we had discussed in case of Adani Green. But if you see a few quarters back, Adani Power also had the same issue where the debt to equity ratio of Adani Power was about 12.6, which means if 100 rupees was invested in Adani Power, then out of those 100 rupees, 93 rupees was coming from debt and only 7 rupees was coming from company's equity. But now if you see, the debt to equity ratio of Adani Power has improved significantly, and presently the debt to equity ratio is about 1.87, which is actually less than the debt to equity ratio of Tata Power. And also in case of Adani Group's flagship company Adani Enterprises, the debt to equity ratio has significantly improved, and right now the debt to equity ratio is about 1.31. And similarly, the debt to equity ratio of Adani Transmission is about 3.16, and the debt to equity ratio of Adani Total Gas is about 0.45, which is a significant improvement in the Adani Group of companies. And also if you consider profitability and growth, most of the Adani Group of companies are outperforming their peers in terms of sales growth and net profit growth. And because of these positive factors, many analysts and experts believe that the valuation of Adani stocks and the debt on Adani Group is totally justifiable. But having said that, there are other analysts and experts who believe that Adani Group still carries a huge risk in terms of debt and valuation. But only time will tell if Adani Group continues to climb the ladder of success or Adani Group will crumble under the debt burden. But presently it looks like it is the time of Adani's, where everything which Gautam Adani touches is turning into pure 24-karat gold. Whether it is port business, power business, renewable energy business or FMCG business, Adanis are everywhere tasting the highest level of success. And under these circumstances, will you be willing to invest in Adani Group stocks for long term? Write your answer in the comment section. So that's it for today guys, and I hope today's video was informative and knowledgeable. And if you think so, then please make sure to press the like button and like the video, and you can also press the red button to subscribe to the channel, and most importantly you can press the bell notification so that you get an immediate update as soon as we upload a new video. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Until then, this is your friend Bharat Shankar signing off.